Boy, I'm about to start. I'm about to start a new right tackle, bro. This nigga, he just stand there every play, bro. I want to see if I can hear you on the mic right now. So keep talking.
Nah, he ain't coming through.
What a... Oh, I can hear you, Hitter. You good?
Yeah, I hear myself. I don't hear folk though.
Hear me now? Can you hear me now, you?
Yeah, you on there now.
Am I clear? Do I need my mic turned up a little?
Nah, you good.
Yo,
All right,
Booney.
sound good.
Nah, you in the crib or you out and about? All right, we doing a real talk. I just wanted to see if you was home or not.
Tell him he made the playoffs. You got knocks.
You got knocks in the offs too, bro. All right, yeah, huh? Yeah, I'm doing a real talk now. Tune in. All right.
Let me come out of this practice, baby. Yes, sir.
Let's go. Let me get these niggas tuned in. Look at Dell on YouTube. Nigga look just
Uncle
like
Deli's.
Dell. Nigga look like Dell.
That Super Bowl trophy looking lonely. Let's add another one to him, baby. My credenza only got one. Let's add another one to him.
There's some good storylines, man. Damn, man. Seahawks beat the Redskins 36-19 to close the season. Get credit to our players. Our guys really came out focused today, and we were able to get the win on the road, man. This Redskin team, man, I'm going to be honest with you, Falk. I had the NFC East this season, man. And I'm going to be real with you, man. I just played a hell of a game. It was a weird game, but I played a pretty good game. Against the Giants. He got something special with that, you know, with the running shit he doing. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you. He got something
No
good
alignment at tight end?
Nah, I don't think. Nah, he did have some big ass niggas out there blocking, but he good. So he was within the rules and shit. But again, he got some good shit going on with that little scheme he got. Hold on. Yes, she got it. But yeah, so anyway, playing the NFC, man, like I know Black started off 8-0. We've been tearing him up with the Bobby Schmurder and all that. But he got a good team over there, and the fact that he still made the playoffs. I mean,
right.
8-0, and you finished 10-6, man.
So I mean, he finished the season 2-8.
Yeah, he finished the season off 2-8.
I mean, not 2-8, 2-6.
Mm-hmm. 2-6, man. He went 2-6 to down the stretch. Me personally, I think you need to get your shit back together, man, and get back to that high level of football you played in the beginning of the year. Because it wasn't like he was just playing squares. easy wins. That wasn't like the schedule fitted you, and then all of a sudden you started playing
Go
tough
go
teams.
to a schedule real quick. Let's see if he played guys.
Let's talk about this. Team schedules, Redskins, regular season. So he came out. I mean, Eagles won one game this season, but he beat Dirty Rat 59-13. Then he had the Cardinals at the time. Patsy wasn't there. That was a forced win, 35-24. Then he beat the Bears. Lava played well this year. He had 9 wins this year on his loss at the end to knock him out the playoffs, 35-10. He beat Snake 24-21. Nice little. That was a good football game. I watched that game. Then he came back, played Rat again, 20-13. So this is where it started to turn for him at. Even though he got the win in Week 4 against the Colts, he beat them 24-21. Eagles, after blowing him out, he comes back beating 20-13. Cowboys pulled off the dub Week 6, 14-10. I watched that whole game. Then he aired the Rams 44-0. Came off his bye, beat the Giants 24-21. Then here's where it started to skid a little bit. Lost to the Texans 17-9. Lost to the Cowboys 25-10. Came back and beat Harrowburgers 30-16. Blew the Saints out. That's why I thought he still was good. He blew the Saints out while the Saints is figuring some things out over there, 55-21. But then he go on a 4-game losing streak here. He get aired by Nano 30-7. Giants come back and get him 37-13. Jags get him 42-14. Seahawks getting 36-19. So is that the schedule or him?
I mean, he had a tough schedule, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did.
He had a tough schedule.
A really tough schedule, bro. Because you can't take away. I like the NFC East right now because I think, honestly, yo, we talk shit about people's schemes and what they doing and all that, but Six Oos can give you a problem, especially if you don't take him serious. I mean, the way he run the ball and what he's doing to run the ball is not really different from what Knox is doing. So it gives you a lot of problems because he has a higher success rate for everybody getting picked up on the block when he run the ball versus him having to do anything special. Like playing that game, he ain't had to do nothing special with stick work, but all he had to do was follow his blocking, and the blocking picked up a lot for him. So a person like that is going to give anybody a problem. I think he can get, it goes two ways with people like them. They can get blown the fuck out, or they're going to give you a ball game where they're going to beat you. Simple as that. Especially if you play around and you ain't really, you ain't smart enough to understand how to stop some of the shit he's doing, because it's not easy when you got motions coming that's kind of fucking the AI up with your defense right now. And he does that a lot as well. But again, Black played well throughout the season. If you go to the games that started to get close to me started telling you the tides that things was turning around a little bit. Like, I don't know. It was he was locked in. He was in chat every day talking shit. So he was all on board coming in at 8-0. He was all on board. I think the talent level got harder for him, Falk, or did just like, what was it? Like he had a couple second time around games.
I think it was a talent level, and then I think he never really been in this position before with us in this league where he had the bullseye on his back. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like he never been in that position where he was the hunted. So I think, and that being said, I think he had a bullseye. Then I think he just played some dogs at the end. He probably played He probably played 3 of the top 6-5 user the last 4 weeks. He played Jew, Jungle, and Big Valley, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's 3 of the top users in the league. So, if you looked at that on paper, nobody expected him to beat y'all anyway. So,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the fact he beat Jungle earlier in the season, for him to even split with him is a win.
It's a win, yep. And he had honestly been on headset with us. He said that to me. He said that, splitting with that nigga, we straight. Because when he lost the second one, I'm like, bro, you had that game 1-2. He's like, we good. I said, you ain't good. I told you you're going to lose 4 straight. Now, my question to you is, you know how it is. Team morale, like how does those 4 straight losses hurt the Redskins' chances in these playoffs?
I mean, his morale gonna be shitty. Who he got? Who he got? The Vikings.
Yeah, I think he played the Vikings.
I mean, his morale gonna be shitty, and we'll see, man. If his team come out and their morale low, it's gonna be tough to stop the run, which the Vikings like to do. So we gonna see. He gonna have to overcome it, in my opinion. He gonna have to come out and kind of outscore the Vikings, meaning like go score for score with him. Because if the Vikings get in the lead and is able to control the clock and run the ball, which he probably will be with the morale of losing 4 in a row.
Right.
You know, remember when you lost those games in a row, and man, you played, you couldn't get off a block, save your soul.
Save my life. That shit real, bro. He did possess a solid running game this year. I mean, Warwick Dunn had 218 carries for 1425. So that I think that to me was the difference with him. He actually had a running back he can run the ball with. Now he only had 8 touchdowns, but he did average 6.5 yards a carry. And that's cool in those games where you can see that happening when he's 24-21 win. You know what I'm saying? Them close games winning, you know the run game played a factor in that.
Right.
He was just under 100 yards rushing a game with Warwick Dunn. But I do think that's the difference in his run game. Him being able to run the ball. And he did spread the ball around to a whole shitload of receivers. Most guys don't got 20 catches with 4 or 5 receivers like he do. You know what I'm saying? Like most guys, they top heavy. 1 or 2 guys got 20 and 30 catches. Everybody else got 1 and 2. So he's spreading the ball around. Spreewell is his number 1 target with 10 touchdowns this year, 899 yards. Lavernius Coles comes over from the Jaguars and give him 8 touchdowns. And his tight end, like remember we was looking through the league to talk about tight ends. And Joey Hernandez is one of the top tight ends in the league. And when you go look at McCoy, as far as playoff stats, McCoy threw the ball well this year as well, though, bro. Like, his quarterback's up there in the passing share with 2,941. 29-47. Yeah. He threw 27 touchdowns, 65%, 20 picks. So McCoy throwing the ball a little bit more.
He's throwing the ball. So, yeah. I mean, that's what I said. I think right now, if I had to bet money on this game, I'm taking the Vikings. Just because I think he could be able to control the ball, and then looking at his passing numbers, he could throw it around a little bit. So I think the Redskins going to have to outscore him. And I think for the Redskins to win, he's going to have to at least score 30 points.
Yeah,
because his morale, I'm telling you, he's going to be getting gassed.
Completely. All right, so overall, first season of Real Draft, man. I know, the league didn't start over, but we are in the first season of Real Draft. What was your take of this season, Falk?
I think the transition went well. I think everybody, was something new. I think everybody kind of got, picked up to it and got acclimated real quick. And I think people are understanding that you have to build through the draft, or even they're getting tied into players. I'm seeing more than ever before. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of like if I got a running back and that's my guy, I'm gonna fuck who's coming out. That's my guy. That's who I'm rocking with until otherwise. So I think that's where the league going. I think guys get their players that they like, and it don't matter if somebody coming out better, they gonna rock out with it. But if you go through the teams, man, everybody got players, man. Everybody got talent. I mean, some people know how to build better than others, but for the most part, everybody got talent. Everybody got niggas running. Everybody got fast this, fast that, strong this, strong that. So really now, and then like every real draft, after a couple seasons, it just come down to scheme. Who got the better scheme?
Right. I mean, you led into something that I definitely want to get into. The chat was popping yesterday, and a lot of the conversation was about best teams.
Right.
So we was talking about some things when it comes down to best teams and all that. My question to you is, when you hear that type of talk, got the best team, or best team this, best team that, do you take that as an insult, or cop out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you copping out saying, oh, I'm winning because my team better than the best team, or you know?
I think in the people's minds, and you know, everybody entitled to their own opinion how they feel. But I think the league is just so competitive that people look for reasons why they don't win or why they don't have success. So you know, for example, I could go to me, right? So normally I'll tell you the truth, like why I lose. Man, look, I just wasn't into it. You know, play calling was off, just a bad day, whatever, right? Then now that's my excuse. Now some people can look at that like, look, fuck, I just beat you. You lost, man. I don't give a fuck about your play calling wasn't there. Nigga, you lost. I beat you.
Right.
I think what people do is they just wrap their mind around whatever it is. So if it's injuries, if it's, oh, well, my corner's only a 96 speed, the receiver's 99, and you beat me for a touchdown. So that was the difference in the game. I mean, people just wrap their minds around whatever logic it is to be a crutch on why they lost. But if you really know the game, a 96 speed corner and 99 speed receiver, it pretty much ain't no difference with the click on. Right, it ain't no difference with that. Like, there ain't no separation. Like, oh my God, he's gonna. So I think people just use it as the crutch, and we all do. You know, when I lose and I get asked, sometimes man, he just beat me, and then sometimes I find an excuse. So I think that's what it is. But if you look at everybody's team is nice. So the narrative of that is just, you know, not accurate in my point. I just think people they competitive, so you know, there's always an excuse when you lost. You know what I mean? Like when you go to the podium after a loss and you talk to the news, what they say, they give you the reasons why they lost. Not, you know what, they was just better than me, man. Nah, we had too many turnovers. No, they forced you into them turnovers. Not we had too many turnovers. Their defense made you have those turnovers. They're not gonna say that though. They just say, yeah, we had too many turnovers. We just didn't execute. No, they made you not execute. They whooped your ass. So, you know, I think this is how people look at it. You know what I mean? That's what I take from it.
Yeah, I look at it like this, man. Like, the build is always important, but it's the only way you can counter that. Oh, you got the best team is, again, we joined Onk's League. We pretty much started a brand new league with the rookies coming in and all that good shit. And like, I think it's time for us to broadcast those games. You know what I'm saying? Like, in those other leagues, to broadcast those games and fit that a part of the narrative. Because at the end of the day, bro, narratives is narratives, and I hate them, but I also spin them myself. So I know how, when they spun, I know why it's being spun. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a person that will spin a narrative too. But if you go, you know, just leaving our league and you go out, we did this already in One Real Talk. We talked about what our teams look like right now, and a league that just started, and what it's going to look like. Like, you saw the build of you know, what type of rookies we grabbed, the players we put on our team right away, and what they're going to look like at the end of the year. And it ain't going to be, you know, you can't compare a just started league with a 7-season league, but you can compare the build. You know what I mean?
Right. So I totally agree. But you know what though, and I think we don't give ourselves enough credit, because I think people know. I just think, you know, people when they're not backs against the wall. That's the wrong. I think people, again, just, you know, they want to use, because listen, if I'm competitive with you and your team, in my opinion, better than mine, then I'm a better coach then. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So people need to find something to make their narrative or push their agenda. So therefore, I'm like, yeah, Pat, your team is better than mine, but I only lost to you by 5 points. Right. Well, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, your team, you supposed to air me. You know what I mean? Like, you supposed to blow me the fuck out. Your team was better than mine. But then if I beat you and your team is better than mine, oh, wow. So I think it's just that, man. People is just competitive, man. I think the competition is just at an all-time high, and I think people use that to fuel their greatness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Look, my team ain't even the best in this game. Look what I'm doing.
I think that the entire league, as far as everybody that's actually locked in, we're not talking about the guys that just hop on and play their games, bitch about it being faster than 48 hours. talking about guys that's locked into their team and the team what's going on with their team. I think the closing is happening. Like I really see everybody understanding what to do for us putting the team together. Like everybody. Like you know what I mean? Like everybody.
I agree, man. I will at least say it's probably at least 20. It's 32 teams in the league. Probably 28 of them. I could probably do the same shit I'm doing with the Chiefs right now.
That was great. Be my next question. Like it's teams that if I gave my Jaguar team to somebody and took that other team, I can continue to do exactly what I'm doing with the Jaguar team. So again, do it come down to the players? Especially when we get this far deep in the league, 7 seasons in, it comes like you said, it come down to scheme and all that. But then it's like not everybody can run schemes. Like I'll give you an example. Can anybody get on the sticks and do what Six Oozes is doing or Knox is doing in a run game? Can anybody else, can we all take that same energy that they got and play calling that they got and be successful with that shit? You know what I mean? Like can anybody hop on and just watch Bigger Belly play a game and then take his scheme and then play a game like that and be successful with it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like for Bigger Belly to be able to build a team the way he built a team, and then his scheme, like, cause I enjoy playing and watching guys that kind of had their own scheme. Like we've been fucking with Knox a lot lately with that motion glitch shit and all this and that. But that's part of his scheme now, right? So that becomes a factor because he's not doing nothing that's breaking a rule. Maybe people can argue, oh, you're breaking a play calling rule, or blah, blah, blah. But his scheme itself. There's no law against a nigga motioning somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, it's not. There's no
law against that. So remember, I asked you, is that genius part of his genius, or is that just looking for something to better manipulate shit with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a thin line between the two.
Yeah, that's why I think the answer I gave you was neither.
Yeah, neither. Yep, neither.
I don't think it's neither. I don't think it's ass, and I don't think it's genius. I just think it's something he found that will give him an advantage, right, or make you think. And I think at the end of the day, that's what coaching is about. You know what I mean? To make the opponent think, and sometimes outthink themselves when it's really basic. You know what I mean?
Right. You know, like another thing is, man, you go look at some of these teams. Like we'll talk about the teams that made the playoffs this year, and you look at some things like so let's start with the Bucks, bro. I'm gonna go to the Bucks roster. Let's start with the Bucks. There's some things I'm impressed with over here with him, and some things that I'm gonna ask you questions on when you look at his roster, right? He made a comment in the chat not too long ago and was saying he said something about how he's comfortable with his roster. Is where he wanted to be. So Tag Tuivasa is a player he snatched up after getting rid of a quarterback that he kind of built already. And I love seeing this type of shit. Like, I don't want to see Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields go to somebody that's going to throw 95 picks, 11 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see those guys go there. You want to see these guys. You want to see somebody like a Jungle be like, I'm getting a new quarterback, fuck it. And get that new quarterback and be sitting right back in the divisional round. You know what I mean? You want to see that type of shit. So anyway, back to the Bucks. Tua Tagovailoa. We didn't have many starting rookie quarterbacks from this real draft class, the first real draft class in the league. We literally had about 4, maybe 5. Offhand, Tag Tuivasa, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love, the kid Bryce Perkins is over at the Bengals. So Tag, Love.
What about the Cardinals? Brewster, was he a rookie?
Nah, he a 1-year player, but he not a real draft rookie. He's just a rookie. He's a 1-year player, and I think he's gonna stay with that quarterback, bro. I don't think he's gonna blow it up. I think he like that quarterback. But anyway, what I'm impressed with, like coming into this draft, you would think that the Bucks would have already grabbed him a running back. He's been doing it with 29-year-old Ronald Jones, bro, and like I think that changed his game a little bit because he's running the football right now. Let's talk about the last. Since 2022, that's 2023. He's been a 1845, 1249, 1136, and this year he's back to 1779 and 19 touchdowns. Is this the direct reason why the Bucks are sitting in the playoffs right now?
I wouldn't say direct reason. I think he's more. He's more susceptible to have success now in the playoffs because that's the game in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Who can control the clock, who can make the least amount of mistakes, and who can run the ball. That's playoff football. You know what I mean? How they say in the NBA the game slow down. Well, it's true in the NFL. You don't see too many 40, 50-point games in the playoffs. You know what I mean? You see those 2017, 23-20s, you know what I mean? Those type games in the playoffs. So I think it made him more susceptible to have success in the playoffs where he's, you know, he gets there, but then he'll lose to an opponent that's doing what he's doing. Right now,
or running the ball more than him completely.
I think he's just he realized the game. You know what I mean? And he's really, you know, just sticking. You know, and I think I can speak on his behalf because I'm like-minded like him. Like I like to throw the ball. Like so, that's me by nature. So it's tough for me to sit there and run the ball 25, 30 times. I could do it, but I get bored. I gotta throw the ball. Like you know, what I mean? That's why I always got fast receivers and we running around and doing what we do. But you gotta understand what the playoffs is and what leads it. You know, to success. So you look at the teams that win, they typically win in the playoffs because they're able to do those three things: run the ball, control the clock, play good defense, and not make mistakes. So
my question to you is: that football though? Especially playoff. Is that playoff football?
That's playoff football. Yeah.
Right.
It's playoff football. I mean, look at you know, look at real life. Ain't too many teams again scoring 40, 50 points in the playoffs.
Right. All right. So we're gonna slide over to the playoff schedule real fast. And we're gonna talk about the teams that made it right now before we get into a league, complete league talk of the players and rookies. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff today, fellas. I thought the league was successful in the first 48 hours of playing, slowing it down. I thought not having computer games. Matter of fact, before I get into these playoff rosters, how'd you feel about not having been able to play the computer, Falk? You think that changed any of the narrative?
I mean, for me, it was different. It was different in the fact that not having games certain weeks, so that was kind of, you know, different. Cause typically I could just hop on and play the computer and get some stats. But I think for me, man, and you know, I've said this since like 18. For me, it's always gonna be something. So if it's he only gets stats because he played the computer, or he's only good because he only always gets awards because he played the computer. Whatever it is, it's going to be something that the people again going to use to make their argument, and that's fine. I get it. It is what it is. I just let the numbers speak for themselves, you know. So not playing the computer, I think was good though. You didn't see the OP and stats. I think you really seen what guys can really do without playing the computer. So I mean, for me, it's just that's always what I do. You know what I mean? If this is an average season, I just think for me, you won't see a 2,000-yard rusher, which I focused on. But yeah, I think not playing the computer was good, man. You don't see the OP stats, you know. So I definitely think that was cool.
All right, but we're going to talk about them stats in a second. The motherfucking, because we did see OP stats. Congratulations, Patrick Mahomes, with his first league MVP. How you feel about that, man? Especially not playing computers. Like, this would have been about 4 or 5 games for you where you could have easily threw for 600 yards, 8, 9 touchdowns, and all that. And those seasons that you wasn't able to, when you was able to do that, you've never won a MVP. But the year we took the computer games away, Patrick Mahomes, just due, finally, as the #1 quarterback in the league, has won a league MVP for the first time. How'd that make you feel?
I mean, just to show the work. Just to show the work. It's been years I've thrown 65 touchdowns and ain't get it. Wasn't in the top 3. So just to finally be able to, you know, see all these numbers I'm putting up and all this work, it's definitely good to see. You know, and I think I got 3 forced wins.
Yeah,
so I didn't even play all my games.
Right. The running back over there in Cleveland, Kevin Falk II, right now. Some say could have pushed you if he was able to play his game week 17, but Knox with a guy up there for second in MVP, and then you got Cliff Holiday third. Walter Payton from the Giants, after being suspended a game too, still had one of the top 5 MVP rushers over there. Bears had Gale Sayers over there, Willie Parker, Lamar Jackson. And we're gonna talk about Lamar Jackson not being hurt twice this season and still hopping up on here on that MVP race. Roger Craig, Kenny McCain, the big back over there in Carolina, and Ronald Jones as MVP races right now. So all right, so as we go through the stats, let's talk about the Coach of the Year right now. So Coach Falk at 16-0 has won Coach of the Year. Congratulations on that, Coach. This might be a gift and a curse for you. Every season you went undefeated, you've been knocked out the playoffs.
Yeah, I think this is the third time I've been undefeated, 16-0, and then I flamed out in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's gonna be tough. You know, it's gonna be tough. It's some tough competition in the AFC, NFC, and again, it's, you know, teams are pretty much even now. So scheme. So,
right.
We'll see. We'll see what the Chiefs can do. But I'm excited though. I'm excited about it.
All right. So we want to say shout out to Kevin Falk again as Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC. Your top 5,
yeah, and probably would have been MVP if he'd have played his last game.
Exactly.
So shout out to him.
We also going to talk about the next 4: Patrick Mahomes, Cliff Holiday, Will Parker Jr., Calvin Johnson. So you got 3 out of the 5. So that's what's up. In the NFC, we've seen Gale Sayers as a running back. I mean, obviously this is a running game, this Madden. So the running back is always going to be the guys, especially if you have, you know, double-digit touchdowns and close to 2,000 yards rushing or more. Gale Sayers, I really like the fact that we've seen Lava play all his games this year, and he got guys up there in stat-wise right there. But Walter Payton came in second, Roger Craig, and then Kenny McCain over there in the NFC. Now, Defensive Player of the Year in the NFC, Hugh Jackman. I got to talk about him being there, but he didn't. This guy didn't play at all this year. But so I really say our defensive MVP was Tavarius Moore. Now Tavarius Moore is a safety / corner, you know, hybrid type player who was really shouldn't be even being played with right now with his age. Is that impressive that Bigavelli got him sitting at? I consider him the NFC's defensive MVP because he played his games. Is that impressive to you?
Yeah, I mean, at his age and all these, you know, you got guys running around, and I mean, I know he's pretty fast and tall for safety, but you know, anytime you could do what he's doing at that age, man, it's impressive.
Right. All right, so the defensive MVP in the AFC was Ray Lewis II, man. Again, there we go. You back up there again. You got the offensive MVP. And the defensive player of the year right now with Ray Lewis, man. Look, man, talk about this Ray Lewis. You call him the number 1 back and number 1 linebacker in the league. For argument's sake out here, why is he the number 1 linebacker in the league?
Well, the comment is biased. One, I mean, it's my guy, but I just think sometimes you just get players on the game that you just really believe in. And I think from jump with him, it was just somebody I just believed in. So obviously you're gonna make it work, and then it just started happening. So, you know, like he would just get picks, and then for some reason he just had a knack for taking them shits to the crib. Like nigga got like 16 return touchdowns. Like, and I know a lot of it is just me being a good user on defense and sitting on shit, but it's just, you know, with him, I just think he is like I don't think I could do what I'm doing with him with another player. I don't know if I make sense to you. I don't know if it's shell or just the belief in him. But yeah, I mean he do his thing, man. You put it like this: people look for him when he's out there. They look to see where 52 at.
What's impressive to me with him is you're using this guy 90% of the game. Each game. So for you to be almost 100 tackles in, you know, 13, 14 interceptions every season with him and all that. That's you using. Most people ain't going to get close to 100 tackles while they're using the player. If you really look at the league, those guys that you user, if you go look at their stats, they're not the guys with the stats usually. And that's why that alone, outside of him running picks back all crazy and getting a lot of interceptions and all that, the fact that you're using him and his numbers is high like that all the time, to me, yeah, he's the best. And I got a dog at linebacker, 2 of them, but yeah, Ray Lewis is that guy, man. So shout out to Ray Lewis, second for defensive MVP. The next 5 is Amari Rodgers, Amani Arrington, Chad Jones, the second at safety for the Browns, and Myles Garrett at D tackle. In the NFC, we already talked about their defensive player of the year, so now we're going to the offensive rookies of the year. A.J. Dillon for the Dallas Cowboys. What you think, Falk, man? Can we shed light on A.J. Dillon?
Yeah, I was real impressed. I was real impressed because he's a big back. You know, I think I don't know how fast he is, but he's a big back. And I think, you know, anytime you got a big back that are not elusive and not as fast, can't hit the hole fast or hit the corner fast, and to really develop them and stick with them, I think is impressive. So shout out to Jungle for really working with him and developing him. And, I'm pretty sure he'll be a force to reckon with in the playoffs.
6 foot, 247 pounds. We're going to take a look at his rating. Superstar, 97 break tackle, but he got 92 speed, 93 accel, 89 agility, 93 carrying, 91.
He probably built that as well.
Exactly. Definitely built that, 95 stiff arm. And then you go look at his superstar abilities, arm bar and inside guru, which is nuts, bro, because, you know, his guy is actually Adric Lockley. He's probably like number 2 in the league for his best running back. Not saying that he's the best running back, you know, game in and game out, but if I click on him and go to ratings,
the rank, I think he is like second.
Number 3. He's number 3 running back in the league
3,
right now.
Yeah. I think they behind Barkley and Falk.
Yep. And for him to give A.J. Dillon 218 carries, 1,093, he averaged 5 yards a carry, but he had 26 touchdowns. That is the recipe for playoffs. He built him at the right time.
But you got to think, though, imagine if he was like a 95 speed with them, because a lot of times, a lot of runs get blocked well, but you just don't got the speed.
I go through that with Matt Perry.
So if he, let's say if he was a 95 speed, that'd at least be 2,000 easy.
So you know A.J. Dillon at 26 touchdowns, that's impressive. Like, listen, the man only averaged 68.3 yards a game. He only fumbled out of 218 carries 4 times this season. 25 broken tackles right now. But is that not like he built this guy at the right time for the right moments? Because now we into these playoffs, and now you got that arm bar on him, and we have a bigger Nick Chubb.
Yeah. That's gonna be scary, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary.
Good luck to y'all in the NFC.
Shit, gotta stop that. Coming right at you, game in and game out. That shit gonna be crazy. All right, so that was the offensive rookie of the year, Dillon. Jordan Love, I really love Jordan Love, bro. I'm impressed with Lava. I want to give Lava a shout out, man. Finished 10-6 on the season, bro. That's big, bro. That's a guy that took his ass whoopings, took his lumps, you know what I'm saying? Did it his way, building his team. You really don't hear much from him bitching and nothing like that. He actually hopped on chat with us in the draft one year, and you saw him really how interested he is in the league and what he's doing. He went and got Jordan Love, and he got him second as offensive rookie of the player. Henry Ruggs third, Tony Brown, and C.D. Lamb, which I really like the fact that he's up there considering the Patsy took that team over late. All right, so you go look at the offensive rookie of the year, Salvin Ahmed, man. I mean, we all know who Salvin Ahmed is. We expected him to run a 4-2, 4-3 type situation. He did get his Pro Bowl upgrades. I mean, his Pro Day upgrades because, you know, the coronavirus got all these guys not doing it. And I do believe he'll run a faster 40 than that 4.6. But also built this guy.
Yeah.
Is it well deserved though, Salvin Ahmed as the offensive rookie of the year?
I mean, I played the Patriots, man. Yeah, he at that point in time wasn't what he was now, but you could just see him, you know, and then just the dedication that Onk had in getting him the ball, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could just see that he wanted him to be good. So yeah, he definitely deserved it.
Jalen Hurts, second on this list. On a team where Lamar Jackson is your guy, but Jalen Hurts played well at 11-5, And then Malcolm Perry, man, the Navy cadet, bro. We lost our running back. This guy to be third right now. He was out for 8 weeks. I lost him week 4, week 5 or something like that. He came back. He came back like four weeks ago. Let's take a look at this. All right, so Falk, we know I drafted him as he was a receiver in the draft, turned him into a running back within the first year, as you can do as far as the rules. He didn't have 94 speed. You can't turn no receiver into a running back that's 94 speed or above 94 speed, and they have to be within their rookie or first year. And once you move them there, you have to leave them there, and they can't get moved back until the end of the season. All right, so now with Malcolm Perry, bro, he was hurt for 8 weeks, bro. And I'm gonna go look at his stats. I'm gonna look at season games. But down the stretch, when we lost Fred Teller, man, this guy played big for me down the stretch. So you figure, in his last 4 games, Falk, here's his numbers. You ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
151, 25.2 yards average. He had a touchdown. 22 carries for 170, 2 touchdowns. 10 carries for 200, a touchdown. 18 carries for 245 and 2 touchdowns. Down the stretch, would you say, is my new number 2 now? Like, especially with Fred Teller being hurt, man, did he come in and do the job with that 92 speed?
Yeah, I mean, I saw you play with him. Saw a couple games when he came back, and he got the it factor.
I do respect that.
He got the it factor. I mean, I definitely think he could be that number 2 guy. I don't know about the number 1, just because his size. Right. That's just me personally, but I think he could definitely give you between 10 and 12 carries a game, and be that explosive player for you.
Right. I think the same thing. Like, that's what he is. He's that type of guy. He's really a role player for me. Like, he could do so much for me and other stuff too. Especially now that Fred Teller's back, I can use him more in the passing game and things like that too. And that was the plan when I moved him to running back. He's still a receiving back, so we'll see going forward. All right, so that's the AFC MVPs. I gave y'all the top 5. T. Higgins. DeAndre Swift is out right now, but he played well going down the stretch. And T. Higgins, again, you played the Patriots. What about this receiver, T. Higgins?
Man, he gonna be special. I've never seen a player get that open.
Oh my God, that's on a miniseries. Oh my God, that's on a miniseries too, bro. I've
never seen that. I mean, he was at least he had lockdown going by 30 yards at least, and I don't even think it was an adjustment. I just think he just ran a perfect route. He's gonna be special.
Yeah.
If they won't continue to develop him, he's gonna be special.
We really didn't see too many rookie receivers making headlines all year, which was honestly, bro, I like the fact that we didn't start a new league, because if we did, we'll be seeing a whole shitload of rookies all over the place wilding. But in real life, man, a lot of these guys don't really see the field and be the man right away like that. So we kind of had that feeling, and you only got to select a few that had great seasons as rookies, man, and that kind of gave me a real NFL feel. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
And T. Higgins being one of them, though. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Unc, having T. Higgins running around. I know he probably got drafted. He wasn't no first round pick or nothing like that, but he was balling. Because outside of Henry Ruggs, you know what I mean? I think it's a little bit more special when you got a guy that shitted as a rookie and got his team in the playoffs.
Yeah, winning always trumps production. But if you're productive while winning, that's even better.
Yeah, that says a lot. All right, so the NFC, let's go back to the NFC. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we said Dylan. All right, so Defensive Rookie of the Year, Dontavius Jackson, linebacker, Florida State guy. Saints did have a bad season this year. They went 7-9. But he definitely won shout out to the Saints and his outside linebacker with Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he gonna be back, by the way, too. Niggas don't understand. Yeah. He blew up his whole team.
He blew his whole
team.
He
gonna be back.
Yeah. And that AFC, bro, that NFC South is pretty solid. Cause look, you got Reef playing good. He won 10 games this year. Saints won 7. Ty's over there. New Falcon used over there. He won, I think, 9 to 10 games. And then the Bucks are still playing at a high level. So,
but you know what I like about that division is really like in real life. Like any year, any one of them could win it.
Yeah, yeah. It's real.
Like next year, the Bucks can have a down year and be 7-9, and then Tata could win it at 11-5. Like it's no favorite there.
Right, right.
You know, even though people will say the Bucks is, but that division they play each other so much that you know it be back and forth. So I think that division got the most parity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
In the league.
And then Tata coming over there as a new coach coming over there, they had see 2 times a game. Like we gonna see going in the future is that you know playing him a couple times would that slow his record down, but he had a successful season. Another linebacker, Sean Bradley. Second, Ashton Davis. Clavion Chaseon from LSU over there. Shout out to Lava again with the Bears. And Damon Arnett, the corner from Ohio State, finished 5th. Where I'm at, defense. Did I do our defensive rookies? Now, Willie Gay Jr. for the Bills, bro. This guy has shitload of sacks, a lot of tackles. Chase Young, 2. Grant Dell pick. Antoine Brooks, a DC hitter.
I gotta talk to you when you come upstairs.
Let's talk about Antoine Brooks for a second, bro. You drafted him. Where you get him at? Second round? Second round. He came to an already crowded linebacker room and ended up getting the start, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, how you feel about him at linebacker?
Week 2, I moved him into the starting lineup. He's everything I expected. You know, he came in, he had a little rough going at the beginning, but once he caught on to the speed of the NFL, it was all uphill for him. You know, he got his first pick 6 week 4, and it's been amazing ever since.
Right. This guy has been playing solid, man. Tanner Muse fell in 5th place there. Defensive rookie. You look at the AFC side of things when it comes down to defensive rookies, bro. It's some real big names over here. You had the #1 pick, Chase Young. Grant Dell pick was a high draft pick, sitting there at safety, probably the #1 safety. Aaron Brooks, Antoine Brooks. I mean, probably wouldn't have been checked for to be, a high. This was a sleeper. Linebacker that's playing well, and you get that in real life. Guys come in, you really don't expect to do nothing to come out of them, and they ball out and they become good names over there. But Tanner Muse, another Clemson guy. Yeter Gross Matos was solid. Isaiah Simmons. We had some guys over here. You got Lavert Hill from Michigan, Patrick Queen from LSU, John Greenard from Florida. Some dogs over here that in the NFC on the defensive side of things with the race. Now, best quarterback in the AFC, your top 5 was Patrick Mahomes, Chase Ward, Tom Brady, and Joe Burrow. Another Joey Burrow. Hunter Winslow. Shout out to the Dolphins. Mark over there. Shoguns. All right, NFC quarterbacks, we got D. Rose holding it down again. Joe Burrow as a rookie, that's solid, him being in 2. Daniel Kingsbury had a great year this year. Keith Whitfield for the 49ers and Blaine Cartwright, solid over there. At the running back position, Walter Payton Jr. wins the running back of the year over here. I like this, bro. Especially sitting out a game, bro. He got suspended for a couple of joints, but this guy balled out, man. My question, I thought he was on his way to about 3,000 yards this year, man. Would you consider him top 3 running back in the NFC?
Who?
Walter Payton Jr. for the Giants.
The Giants? Oh, yeah, because they're kind of OP on the run, so they can't help but have good running backs in that system.
Right.
Don't give him the edge, that's all I can tell you.
Now, you can't get this guy the edge. I just got finished playing him. You give him the edge, it's a wrap. He turned that corner, it's a wrap. Good luck trying to catch him, though. Roger Craig sitting there. Kenny McCain, I really like this back. And Ronald Jones is my surprise back for still being a top 5 right there. Best receivers in the NFC right now. Gianna Bryant held it down. Jungle do what he always do. Always got a receiver playing around somewhere around there. Jerry Cheeks, again, Lava got guys stepping up. Steve Urkel was a computer game, but Henry Ruggs is probably one of the only rookie receivers you're going to see on here. Had a hell of a year this year, and that 5 was Spreewell. Slide down there, look at some of these other guys. C.D. Lamb, rookie. Tony Brown, rookie from Colorado. Had some guys up here, man. AFC best receivers. Calvin Johnson II, Paris Campbell. How you feel about that, hitter Paris Campbell? Because look, most people gonna be like, ah man, he's throwing jet sweeps to this guy all game long. Fuck out of here. He really didn't this year though, bro. I watched a lot of his games. Paris Campbell holding it down, man. Getting long in the tooth, and he's still sitting here in second place right now with Sheldon Warwick at 3. Are you ready to pass the torch to Calvin Johnson II as the #1 receiver in the league?
I mean, yeah, he's the number one wide receiver.
Are you gratefully bowing out that Calvin Johnson II is the #1 receiver in the league?
I can't really put up stats like Falk every game, so you know.
All right, I know stats
It's
and
a
touchdowns.
matter of opinion.
Right.
You know?
All right, so in your opinion, stats and touchdowns do matter, but you play with your guy all the time, and I'm still high on your guy. I still think he's 1 or 2 in the league as a receiver. Anytime you got a shell that if you throw the ball up, every game that I broke down from you while I'm working on the miniseries, this guy ran under something in all those games. The problem is he's not running under enough of them. Like, what is it about you that don't want to get this guy 12 shots a game to score a touchdown?
Yeah, I'm not that OP type of guy. I like to spread the ball. I feel bad if I come out of the game and only he got touchdowns and he only got catches. You know, I went out and got Colin. I'm trying to force the ball to Colin.
Right.
And I still got 2 and 3 other wide receivers. I got 2 tight ends. I got 3 running backs. You know, my offense is loaded. I mean, I hate to say it, but I got too many players.
Right.
And I want them all to succeed. And it's kind of hard in the kind of system that I got.
No, I feel you. Again, our top 5 over here is Calvin, Paris Campbell, Sheldon Ward, Rashawn Greenberry for the Bills. Hollywood Brown squeezed his ass up in there. And then out of nowhere, Bo Rice is making a name for himself. So that's
Bo Rizzy.
Right. Bo Rice. Fuck, you did that in 6 games, bro. Got Bo Rice #6 as the AFC best receiver in the league. Out of nowhere. This guy had 12 catches before that. And you turned him into a dog right now, man. So do you feel like he's a good complement receiver to Calvin Johnson now?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things is, motivation. So, we was talking, I think, before we played or after we played, and it might have been a couple games before we played, and it was like, the narrative is, Falk only got 1 receiver. A lot of them niggas unproven. So that kind of just motivated me to show that I got another dude that I could, make great. But yeah, I think he gonna be formidable. I mean, I got him up to a superstar X factor in 2 games. Okay. I think one game he had like 4 touchdowns in the half. So I mean, it's fun. Just to piggyback off hitter, just to build, man. I mean, Calvin is a guy I'm gonna keep, and he gonna be up there every year, just for longevity and just to see where he end up at the end of his career with stats. But to develop guys is fun, man, and we'll see.
Right. All right, so we don't really get in linemen too many shout outs, but when you look over in the AFC, top 10 linemen, let's talk about it. So you got Benjamin Stewart, Chiefs. Jay Williams, Chiefs. Tim Watt, Chiefs. Then you got Kern Meredith. I have no idea how he's on there when you keep giving up all these damn sacks. But Dave Wynn is definitely my best lineman. And Evan Peters, so both my guards is on here. Then you got Joe Issa. And then you got Jonathan Ogden Jr., you got Michael Peoples, and then you got Curtis Turner. So that's the AFC's offensive line guys. And you go over to the NFC, you got Eric McCoy, Seahawks, Anthony Black, Seahawks, Malcolm Sarah, Seahawks. You got Vernon Tootin Bears. Giants got a guy up here, Ahmad Bernard, Ross Paxton for the Redskins, Conway for the Cowboys, another Giant up here, Al Thomas, especially when them guys mauling y'all to run the ball. This guy got good linemen, man. And Rhett Katz, another Cowboy, and another Cowboy. Let's slide over to the defensive line right now. I'm like, again, if this guy don't play games, I'm not going to talk about somebody that did it with the computer stats. Roy Mathis, man, with this guy from Florida State been up there every year for the Seahawks right now, sitting at #1 to me. DeAndre Killins II, though, fought for the Panthers. Like, this is a big name he was a name when he got drafted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for him to be a name, he's been balling.
it's good to see him finally living up to that type of ratings he had coming out.
Right. And to round off the top 5 D linemen for the NFC, you got Leroy Ward and Kyle Barkley. Get to the linebackers. Raphael Batten is a name we see all the time as a #1 linebacker. Shout out to Jungle. Raphael Batten does it again. AFC, you got Ray Lewis again. He won that. And then you got Amari Rogers, Terrell Suggs, Willis McGinty, and Lockhart, another Chief. DBs over here, Chad Jones II, bro. This guy balled out all year long, man. And again, this is another player that you got to give respect to because he uses this guy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for him to have all them damn interceptions with him like that, and he's using him, that's solid, man. I respect that.
Right,
Shout out to Knox.
right.
But a corner, that name that we gonna have to remember right now. Jamal Cummings for the Colts, man. This guy played well all year. This the first corner that especially the Colts had that I literally tried to pick on, and he locked me down. Like he had Moss locked down and kind of had Jabari. He caught a pick on both of them, put it that way. So Jamal Cummings over there for the Colts and DC Snake Eyes. I think he got a dog over here we gonna start talking about as the seasons go on over here. All right, so they your award winners and everything. We talked about the NFC defensive backs. Tavarius Moore got it. Cal Reedy always up there. Minka Fitzpatrick holding on as he get long in the tooth. And then the Bears got DeJuan Livingston. Ryan Phelps is always up there as always. All right, so that's that. Now, Falk, man, something that we haven't done in a while, man. You go look at these career stats over here, bro. I'm going to the NFL. Let's look at career stats right now. So we're going to talk about the top 10 quarterbacks passing yardage right now in the league, the longevity and what they're doing right now. All right, so Patrick Mahomes been in the league for 9 years.
This is 10th season.
10th season, 43,903 yards. He's leading all quarterbacks with the most yards in the league right now. Deshaun Watson is right behind him. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Hunter Winslow is sitting there. All right, that's not the top 10, but we're just going to talk about that. We're going to talk about touchdowns right now. It's not even close. Patrick Mahomes sitting with 501 touchdowns. Now, the year you didn't play with him, the year that he had that big season, how many touchdowns did he throw? You know, the year he became Patrick Mahomes.
The first year he threw 50, and then the year I didn't play with him was so 82 of those 501 not mine.
Okay. All right, so that's cool. All right, so the next person with touchdown passes closest to him is Chase Ward with 308 touchdowns.
And that's impressive, like, to do that. Like, yeah. That's impressive.
I mean, Lamar Jackson, with all the running he do, he's still 231 touchdowns.
I mean, just look at, you could tell it's a running league. Just look at the passing touchdowns.
Right. You're 100% right. I don't care about the completion ratio. We're going to go to running backs right now. Running backs with the most yards in the league right now. Let's talk with it. So right now, Andrew Beckwith holding it down. Well, wait, where the fuck I'm at? I'm not the carries. I want yards.
Yeah,
again,
he holding it down.
Andrew Beckwith with 15,418 yards. Willie Parker, 13,476. Saquon Barkley, 11,491. James Spencer, 10,240. Lamar Jackson is 5th on this list, bro.
That's crazy.
You got a quarterback with 10,126 yards rushing. We all know Lamar's special. That's nuts, bro.
I mean, that just goes to why he won all them MVPs and the ultimate weapon. He still is. What, he just had 500 the other day?
Right, 500. Andrew Beckwith is looking to take Emmitt Smith down in the rushing touchdowns as a career with 154. Willie Parker 140.
You think he gonna get there?
I think he's gonna get there. Bigavelli going. I think Bigavelli
Year
got him
7?
now. This year 7 for him. Bigavelli got him now. So let's see what he did year 7. All right, so yeah, I mean he had 22 touchdowns. Yeah, bro, he scored 10 touchdowns next year. He wins. He beats it.
What about the yards? Yeah, he took it 1,500.
1,533 yards, 22 touchdowns this year, bro. So I see, yep, we're going to have a new NFL career rushing leader and a career
touchdown leader. Just look at them numbers.
Leader.
His rookie year, he had 3,000 yards. Next year, he had 27. Ran him in the ground, though. Look, 300, 354, 305, 316. God damn, Saints.
Right. 221.
God damn, boy. God damn.
He ran that nigga in the hole. Oh, God. And no wonder he traded him. All right, so Mike Evans leads the league with, receiving yardage with 14,246. Calvin Johnson with in 6 seasons got 11,994 yards. That's fucking impressive. Tyreek Hill, 11,454. Sheldon Ward, that's impressive too, 11,163. Hollywood, 11,063. Paris Campbell, 9,643. Metcalf, 9,144. Hardman, Khalil Jackson, remember he used to be a dog. And we've had Curtis Samuels putting up numbers, so that's solid. On a career touchdown situations going on right now, Calvin with 167. DK Metcalf with 129, Sheldon Ward with 128, and then there's Evans, Hollywood, Tyreek Hill, Hardman, Paris Campbell, Pratt. Pratt only in 4 short years with 82, so he's up there too. Defensive side of things right now, man. I'm going to start with just tackles right now. Mosley, Deion Jones, these guys have all been in the league for a shitload of time, so we're not going to really spend time on that. The tackles for loss, this is one of my favorite stats. Ray Lewis leads the entire league with 106 tackles for loss. Again, this is you using this guy, bro.
Yeah, just me. I'm gonna be honest, just me believing in him, man. Just that's my guy,
Sacks right now. Myles Garrett with 185. Do you think Myles Garrett beats the sack record for career sacks?
Oh yeah. He beat that, and then you got Simeon Rice. Shout out to Simeon Rice and Arrington too, baby. They said they only get sacks against the computer. Y'all both had over 25, but that's another story. I think Rice. I think Garrett beats it, and then if I could hold on to Rice, I think Rice could get up there. But Garrett still got he got some years left. 10 years in, he still got about 2-3. He got about 3-4 years left, so he definitely gonna beat it.
And we got T.J. Watt holding it down with 137. Brian Burns for the Panthers with 124. And then Chris Jones with 123 tackles. Solid right there. Now the INTs right now, man, let's talk about it. So Kyle Reedy at safety with 61. Ray Lewis at middle linebacker with 56. Jalen Ramsey, 56. Bates, 51. Sean Teller, 49. The other safety, 8 years in. Harden, the other safety for the Colts, got 45. Marcus Williams with 45. Deion Sanders, first corner up here. So it looks like Deion got the most picks out of all corners. When I say the best corner in the league, you understand why.
Right, yeah.
Now when you get over here, we're gonna get over here to fumbles, Falk. We talked about this the other night. T.J. Watt has caused 38 fumbles in 10 years, right?
Right.
Keanu Neal in 12 years caused 37 fumbles. In 6 years, Jimmy Voorhees caused 30 fumbles, bro.
That's bananas.
Fucking nuts.
Bananas.
Fucking nuts. Derwin James,
fucking motherfuckers up.
30 fumble causes in 6 years, bro.
That's crazy.
He's balling. He kind of fell off this year with fumbles. All right, so we saw the INTs. The next thing we want to go to is who's scoring the most touchdowns on defense. And Ray Lewis with 16 return touchdowns on defense. Devin Bush with 10. Jermaine Pratt with 7. There's a drop off right there. You got 16, 10, and then there's a complete drop off after that, man. So I love the stats, man. That's our player career stats right now, man. And so when we talk about best players and you hear us saying best player in the league and all that good shit, this is what we talking about. You heard? Fuck, man. Again, I said starting real draft while we already had a league going. It gave us that real NFL feel where you're not gonna see 30 fucking rookies running around shitting right now, man. Out of the games you played this year, has there been any rookies that stood out in the games you played in?
T. Higgins. T. Higgins for sure.
Stood out.
I mean, he just was special. I'm pretty sure it's a couple, even though they might not got the production. But yeah, just watching your guy. I mean, I think he was hurt when we played, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're running
Perry. Yeah. But just everybody, man. Everybody. I think everybody is really just grasping these rookies and rocking with them and sticking with their guys, no matter who they. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter if dog's coming out. I'm rocking with my guy, and that's who it is. And you know, you really seeing guys with GM skills. So some guys keeping guys for to their 30, 31. Some guys keeping guys to their 27. So you really just seeing the GM and it should be interesting, man. This was a great regular season. Playoffs gonna be even lit. The chat been lit. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the league. I mean, for those who are still paying attention, bro, we're working on a miniseries now. My plan is to have it done before we get into the next season. I'm close to having it down there, and we're gonna have the whole. It's gonna be stats. I mean, it's gonna be highlights and shit of the whole year. I've been asking guys to turn their mics on so we can get some real live feed on how y'all feel playing these games and things, y'all emotions and shit. So please continue to do that so you can be involved in this mini series, man, that we gonna put out, man, especially while we all stuck in the house and shit. And everybody chilling. So the views is gonna be off the hook. I can guarantee you that. But fuck, before we close this thing out, man, you got the Ravens and the Browns tonight. Ravens travel to Cleveland, man. They both playing in those conditions, so they'll be fine in that game. But it's the third game in a row, man. Knox 1 or 2 straight where it was bad. It ain't look good. The running game killed them over there. What's the keys to this game, man?
The keys to the game is if the Ravens can stop the run, I think they win. If they can't, the Browns win in a convincing fashion.
All right, you said it earlier, Redskins, Vikings. You got the Vikings in this game?
Yeah, I got the Vikings in this game. I think with them losing 4 straight, I think it's going to be tough for them to stop the run, and then it's going to open up the pass for the Vikings.
All right, you got Texans and the Patriots. Big game tonight, man. This is a must-see game for me. This is a must-see game.
I think this probably be the most. I think this game would probably be the most back and forth game. That Kyler Murray is special,
right.
Especially the way Texans use him. I don't know. This game's a pick 'em, man. But I'm gonna go with Onk and that defense once it gets set and the rookies he got. I think they're gonna step up big.
Right. The 49ers Bucks, man. Nano versus Corey, man. Who you got there?
This gonna be a closer game than people realize. If I had to bet money on it, I won't go with the Bucks because I just think he's been here more, been in this situation more. But Nano defense is better. His run game is better. So I think this is going to be closer than people think. It wouldn't shock me if Nano win, but I'm going with the Bucks.
Right. All right, well, that's our real draft, my fellas. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back again during the playoffs run. This AntHits the franchise guru with Falky the man. DC Hitter the spitter. Holla at us when you holla at us.